Hi everybody, it's Really Crazy for Paper. Back again as promised to show you some of the basic shapes for quilling. I'm just going to use the slotted tool today. That's the best one for you to learn on. And at the end of the video I'll put up some websites that you can go to get guides on doing your basic shapes and other information about quilling. What you want to do is you want to start with a strip of paper. You want to rip the ends rather than cut them. It glues nicer. You stick the paper into the slot, give it a turn, and then start guiding it with your finger because you want to keep this as even as possible. Once you've got it going, you can put your nail on one side, your finger on the other, and just twirl it right up. You let it go. Grab a hold. Put a little tiny dab of glue. The less glue, the better. And glue it in place. That is a loose coil. Yes, that's a loose coil. I made a number of them ahead of time so that I can now just show you the shapes. To turn that loose coil into a teardrop, you just hold it with your fingers, pinch it on one side, and you now have your teardrop. A marquee, you take both sides, pinch it, and you now have a marquee, which also looks kind of like an eye, but it's called a marquee. Then again, with the teardrop, you pinch, and then if you want a shaped teardrop, you curve it a little to the edge, and you now have a shaped teardrop. Same with the marquee. Pinch both sides, curve one way and one the other way, and you now have a shaped marquee. You can do a heart shape by pushing your finger down into it, gently bring those up and your point down, and you now have a heart shape. This is a tight coil. This I'll show you on the tool. Let me grab a longer strip of paper. Get it going on your tool, keeping it tight. This time when you get to the end of the strip, don't let go of it. Carefully remove it from your tool. Hold it firmly between your fingers. Take your little dab of glue and glue it in place. This is used a lot for the center of flowers. And these shapes here, like the teardrop and the shaped teardrop, are used as petals for the flowers. They can either be in like that, or they can even be pointed in that way. And as you can see, you've got yourself the beginnings of a flower going on. These work great, the marquees work great as leaves. There are many other shapes, by the way. This here is called a oh, I forgot what that's called. I'm going to have to take that out. This is a V-scroll. And that's done by taking your piece of paper, fold it in half, twirl down one side, bring it out, twirl down the other side, bring it out, Bring those back together. You've now got your V-scroll. You can have a closed V-scroll by putting a little dab of glue right here in the center to keep them closed. Those are the differences between the two V-scrolls. Then you can do an S-scroll like this by taking, instead of putting a pinch in the middle, you just go down one side, take it out of your tool, turn it, and coil down the other direction. Again, being sure to keep it as even as possible. And there you have an S-scroll. And as you can see, depending on the length of paper, you can have two completely different sizes. Now a C-scroll, you take that piece of paper and you coil it just like you did with the S-scroll, only this time, once you get about halfway and you let go, you want to coil again going towards the same direction instead of backwards. See how it now creates a C. A loose scroll is just taking your scroll do it all the way up. I used a really long piece of paper here, you don't need to use that much. Let go of it and don't glue the end. Just leave it loose like that. And then there is a spiral, which is much easier to do if you use your needle tool. You take your needle tool and start spiraling it, going up that tool, so that this time you do want it to be cockeyed. And then when you take it off, you've got yourself a loose scroll. I'm going to rip off this excess here. And you open it or tighten it, whichever you happen to be looking towards. This was kind of a short video and boring. That's why I had a hard time getting around to doing it. But I did tell you I would do it. The next thing that I do will be an actual project that you can follow along with. Remember, at the end of this video I will have links, not links, but websites that you can go to get more information that you can actually print off of your computer and have beside you while you're working. I hope this wasn't too bad. Thanks for watching. Come back again soon.